Hey, what's up, guys? In today's video, I will be talking about my thoughts on patch 10. So yesterday, I made a video about patch 10, what's new and what they changed. If you haven't seen the video and you want to watch, the link will be in the description. Yesterday I was supposed to give my thoughts in the video, but I mean, I ended up yapping for so long. So I was like, I'm just gonna do another video instead. It's probably gonna be easier. So what I'm gonna do, I'm pretty much gonna go over everything that changed. I'm gonna give my opinion on everything, and I'm also gonna like talk about how the patch was received. Like I said yesterday, I mean, on Discord it was crazy when the patch note got released. I read all the comments from my video yesterday. There was a lot of comments, and honestly, most people took the patch well in my comments, like compared to Discord. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try to go over everything, and yeah. So the first thing that they changed is the goalkeeper pass back. So whenever you catch the ball once, you won't be able to catch it again if it's your teammate passing to you. I mean, that's probably the best change in this patch. There's not really any arguing on that. I think everyone agrees that it was pretty stupid, and yeah, I'm not gonna talk about it too much because I mean, I think it's just one of the best change that the game ever had. So yeah. Now let's talk about defense a little bit. So they nerfed the standing tackle assist on the patch, so it's going to be a bit harder to get some weird tackles off. Also, the hitbox was changed a little bit. But I see a lot of people saying that defense is very OP compared to attack. There's been a lot of discussions around attacking versus defending. So the first thing I'm gonna say is there's definitely things in defense that is, in my opinion, a bit too good. Like, of course, I think the tackle cooldown is way too unforgiving. That's the first thing. Like sometimes you can completely miss a tackle and be able to catch up right away. That happens a lot, actually. You should be punished way harder if you miss a tackle. And I don't know how they could really fix that except changing the time between two tackles. Because honestly, you also don't lose that much stamina tackling. So if you miss one, you can still spam it pretty much without being really affected and keeping the same speed, which is a bit crazy. So I think there's definitely some work that can be done there with the tackles to make it a bit less unforgiving for defenders. Because yes, I think the tackling on defenders is probably the most, I wouldn't say broken, but it's definitely the strongest thing that they have in their kit, the standing tackles. And also the defensive stance hitbox was reduced, so that's going to be another nerf for defense in this patch, which defensive stance is pretty good, right? Because you pretty much just defensive stand and you just stay in front of the person. You can like dash and try to tackle or whatever, but usually if you stay in defensive stance, it's pretty hard to go past someone. But that's also because people like to dribble, and they say they can't go past someone because they just stay in defensive stance. But the way to go past people sometimes is not only by dribbling. I'm gonna go over that a bit later. The way to go past people is not always by dribbling. So your team needs to have off-ball movement. You combine with your team. This is how you get past people. It's not only dribbling. So of course, sometimes you're going to be dribbling, but a lot of times, just combining with off-ball movement with your teammates is going to be how you go past people. But anyway, I'll talk about this later when I talk about the dribbling stuff. So next up is the stamina. So when you have the ball, now you can pretty much just spam the push forward ball pretty much infinitely, so you can dribble way longer with the ball than you used to. I think that's fine. I think that's fine, honestly. You used to lose all your stam pretty quickly before, so I think that's okay. But one thing that they need to remove outside of that is let me just get my stam to 0. It's the 0 stam it's so long to do stam now. It's the 0 stam dribbles. If you reach 0 stamina, I mean, that's your problem, to be honest, with how much stam you're given now. And if you reach 0 stamina, you shouldn't be able to pretty much do anything with the ball whatsoever. Because like the amount of time you have before you reach 0 stamina, I mean, if you have to dribble that much, that's on you at this point. But in the patch note, it says that like in the future, 0 stamina is probably not going to be a thing anymore. So yeah, for now, this is what we get though. So I mean, a lot of this patch is a foundation for the future, if I can understand. You know, a lot of things that they're doing is to set up a foundation to be able to implement more things in the future. And they say that in the patch note pretty much. So yeah. Now onto dribbles. This is where a lot of people have lost their minds yesterday. You know, over the Vexus dash being nerfed and everything. Listen, I read a lot on the Discord of what people had to say about it. Honestly, you know, the thing is, the community is very divided. You know, there's the people that are like, you know, they love just dribbling, right? They do all the dribbles, all the techs or whatever, and then there's the people that are like, well, this is dumb. Why are you able to pretty much you know, dash onto a ball and grab it from 2 meters away? Which, you know, I agree that the animations were terrible. Like, if you disagree that the animations are terrible, then I don't know what to tell you. You know, a lot of the arguments I saw was like, you guys just complain even though it's easy to defend. I mean, for me, the problem is not that it's easy to it's hard to defend, because it is easy to defend. I'm not denying that. But I think we can all agree that the animation is terrible. Like, they could have reworked it and make it with a like good animation. They could have done that. But from what I understand in the patch note, the problem is the whole magnet stuff also messes up with a lot of other things that is not even dribbling wise. Let's say, for example, you know, sometimes I would do and try to do a through pass to a player, right? And the defender would just snatch the ball without even being near it. And yeah, then you're like, okay, but why is that getting intercepted, right? Well, it's just the thing is, the magnet in this game is very inconsistent, to be honest. And another thing is, a lot of people don't X pass in this game. What I mean by X pass is just a pass on the ground like this. You know, a lot of people, they use R2 passes, so they don't even have to worry about the ball getting magneted and stuff, because I mean, it doesn't get magneted when you do an R pass. And so the people that don't use X pass a lot, they probably don't even realize that the ball gets magneted super easily. Because I mean, to me, X passing, like the passing on the ground, is, I mean, in this game, with the way the game works, it's an actual skill. Like, when you only play pretty much on the ground, you need to have good off-ball movement. Your passes need to be pretty much perfect. Like, if you miss an X pass, if you don't put enough power or the trajectory is not good enough, like, this shit is getting intercepted. It is very easy to intercept. With R2 passes, the problem is you just have to send it like in a general area pretty much. It doesn't have to be, the pass doesn't have to be 100% perfect. And that's the problem that I have, because the run doesn't have to be perfect, the pass doesn't have to be perfect, and there's a lot of room for error. But with X passes, there is not a lot of room for error. Like, it's an actual skill to be able to, you know, put the ball where you want, because it's not that easy to aim with X passes when, you know, you're getting pressed, when people are man marking. And it's not only on the passer, it's also on your team with the off-ball movement, understanding how to get away from, you know, an opponent. And yeah, there's a lot that goes into ground play, to be honest. And you know, from what I understand, in this game, a lot of people have different opinions on what makes you a good player. And so, you know, people are always gonna have different opinions, and that, you know, that's fine. Everyone can have their own opinion, of course. But you know, discrediting people because they don't want to play a kind of way that it isn't like actual football is kind of crazy. Like, but doing the opposite is also the same, you know, discrediting people because they put a lot of time into something. You know, it's also not a great thing. But that's what happens when you have a community that's so divided. That's a big problem because it's hard to find a middle ground between people. Like in Discord, all it was pretty much was like a battle of ego. You know, the players with a good with a lot of hours, they would just pretty much trash talk the people with not a lot of hours, because the people with not a lot of hours were like, well, you know, it doesn't make sense that the skill moves, you can just get the ball and pretty much teleport with it or whatever. And so yeah, then you know, people with a lot of hours were like, then you just have to put time into it, and the thing is, I can understand I can understand both sides, right? As someone who's played the game a lot, even if I don't play tournaments or whatever, I still understand the game. I understand that how I play is not how a lot of people like to play. You know, a lot of people like to dribble, and you know, in tournaments, all you see is pretty much missiles. And what I mean by missiles is just set plays, with the combination of like R2 passes. You have a guy in the middle waiting to EE, this guy E's or whatever, then he shoots. That's all tournaments are pretty much. And to me, I mean, bro, I don't want to play this. It's just boring. Like playing against it, watching it, it's very boring. And also one of the thing for me, the way that this game is played is probably worse than the whole dribbling situation in general. Like, I really don't care about people dribbling. I really don't. Like, I've never been against dribbling. I've never said I was against dribbling. Like, if people want to dribble, it's fine. I don't care if you want to just dribble nonstop. I really don't, actually. And yeah, for me, the core problem is not dribbling wise, even though, you know, the animations should be fixed. If an animation is completely buggy, it should be fixed at the end of the day. Doesn't mean that it should be completely removed, but the animation should be fixed, you know what I mean? But yeah, like I said earlier, the devs said this patch is like a foundation for what's next. Like, a lot of people are also mad right now because, you know, they removed all the skill moves but didn't add anything, right? But that's what I mean, this is a foundation. It's not because we're not getting the new stuff this patch that they're never going to add anything. I think a lot of people tend to forget that. I'm pretty sure they said they had like 2 or 3 devs working on gameplay, on actual gameplay. Like, when there's 2 devs working on gameplay, like, we're not going to get patches as frequently for gameplay. Like, it sucks. I agree, it sucks that, you know, we're not getting regular patches that quickly, because we get like a patch every month, right? And there's usually not that much stuff in the patches. But bro, if there's only 2 devs, we can't expect them to like just put out updates after updates after updates to add stuff, you know? Like, we just can't. It's not realistic. And, you know, I'm not trying to go on the dev side. Am I saying this is good? No, I'm not saying this is good. This is a good thing. But I'm saying we gotta understand with what they have right now. I mean, it's not gonna happen. We're not gonna have frequent patches. That's what I'm trying to say. And, you know, I know there's a lot of problems with the game. Listen, I think I'm someone that usually when there's something with the game that's wrong, you know, I express it. But I can also, you know, say what's good in something. Like, a lot of people argument is, you're just trash at the game, stop playing. You're just trash at this, stop. You like, this is not bro, what are we doing? Like, we are playing the same game. We are the same people that have like a 5k peak per day. We're playing in the same game that has been struggling, and there's just all these people with like crazy egos, and like they think the game is revolved around them only. It's crazy. It really is. Games don't work if you only gather to one side of the community. It just doesn't. It will never work, and that's just the truth. That's just the truth. And especially for Rematch, like, the game already has not a lot of players. Like, of course the devs are gonna want to make changes to try, you know, to have something change, to bring more people. Why do we want to keep in this way that we're going right now? I mean, we're losing players every month. Is that really the path we want to go down? To just let's stop trying to change things. Let's just keep you know, going down this hole. Like it's crazy. And another thing is that a lot of people with dispatch, they seem to think that it's only bad. Like a lot of people, they say if this goes through, the game dies. Brother, the game is already going downhill. Like, and the patch has good things. It has good things, even though there's a change you don't like. Doesn't mean that the patch is only bad. There's good things in the patch, and if you say there's no good things in the patch, you're just lying. Because one of the changes being the keeper one, where you can't grab the ball more than once, is like the best change we've ever had in the game. Like saying the patch is just terrible and it's gonna make the game die is crazy to me, because you don't agree with something. Like anyway, that's my take for the dribbling part. I kind of yapped about a lot of things, but it is what it is. I mean, I like, you know, the thing is, I like this game, even though yes, it has issues. But I still believe that something can be done in the long run. It's the devs just need to find something that they want to build on. The game had no really clear path that they wanted to take for a long time, right? And now they're trying to, you know, get this foundation, and then we all start complaining. Like, it's just crazy. Like, the moment the devs, they try to focus on one thing and say, okay, like, that's it. This is going to be our foundation. And then we're going to build up on this foundation. We all start just, I don't know, shitting on each other on Discord, calling each other bad, just complaining about everything. Like, brother, how does a game survive when people act like this? It just does. It doesn't. Like, what kind of community is this at one point? And I think the community being so divided is a problem. Because, like, the middle ground is, like, impossible to get at this point. It's impossible. From what I've read on Discord and what I've heard, I mean, there's never going to be a middle ground being found. Now, to the extra effort, you know, they changed the extra effort a little bit. Now you can, you know, quickly change direction and stuff. I've seen a lot of people hate about the extra effort. I'm not sure why, because, like, from what I read, and maybe there's something I'm missing, and just tell me what I'm missing. Because it says on the patch note that it's just easier to trigger the ability to input a direction more reactively. So being able to, you know, turn fast like this. You know, a lot of people arguments against all the dribbling stuff that happened was that it was going to be impossible to create space now. And I don't know, to me, I mean, it's so good to just create space when you're able to do a 180 like this. It's so reactive now. And it's not only to create space with the ball. Now, if you're defending and you're running away, you can just sprint the other way to try to get a header off and stop, I don't know, a missile or whatever. Also, if you're attacking, right, and your teammate, I don't know, he has the ball there, right, and you want to do a run, now you could just do a run and instantly cut in the middle to receive a pass. I mean, there's so much space creation that you can do with the CE now. It's not, you're not gliding anymore, like you used to. So I don't know why we're hating on the EE. I don't know what I'm missing. Maybe I haven't tested it enough. I don't know. Someone would need to tell me in the comments what I'm missing, because I have no idea why people are hating on the E change. And the last thing they added in this patch was they changed the headers a little bit. So let's say I'm close to the goal, right, and I receive a cross. When I hit the ball now, it's not just gonna hit the post 24/7. So the ball, it's easier to go in. I think that's good, because honestly, a lot of times the ball would just hit the post, which was annoying. Because even if you would put little power, it would hit the post. But now the trajectory of the ball has changed. It goes downward more. So, you know, in general, that's a good thing. But yeah, in general, this patch, I think, you know, a lot of people are hating on it because of the dribbling changes in general. You know, I've seen a lot of people say this patch is gonna kill tiki-taka and stuff, but bro, I've been playing tiki-taka since the start of the game, and I never struggled because I wasn't using a Vex's dash, you know what I mean? You don't need Vex's dashes to create space, you just don't. And also, the fact that the hitboxes got nerfed for defenders, and the magnet is way less broken than it was, it's going to be way easier to ground play like this. Like, you're going to be able to make passes without defenders snatching the ball out of nowhere. Like, this is good for ground play. I don't know why people are like, yeah, it's gonna be a bit harder to dribble past people with using certain skill moves, but you can still go past people. And also a lot of times people think you know, dribbling past people is going past a person totally. Let's say this is a defender, right? Let's say this is a defender and he's marking me close, right? You don't always have to just go past this guy right or left or to be considered taking space. Like, you can just do this type of skill move, getting away from the defender and then making a pass to your teammate. It's not always about going past the player completely. And I think that's like a thing that people just don't tend to understand. It's not always about going past the player. Yeah, sometimes you're gonna want to go past a player, but it's not always it's not always the case. It's not always when you create a space. It's just getting away from the player to be able to pass the ball. That's all it is. Like, it's not always going past a player and then trying to dribble another player and just spam dribbles. It's not always about that. The thing is also, there's one part of the community that I think played football a lot and liked football, and you know, they like to play this game like it's football, right? And then there's the other part of the community that likes the more arcadey, you know, part of Rematch, which is understandable, right? So once again, the community is divided on two things. A lot of people think the game should be more realistic, even though, you know, there's always going to be walls. You know, this game is never going to add fouls, or they're never going to add any offsides or whatsoever. So it's always going to be considered an arcadey game, but it doesn't mean that the game also cannot play like football at a certain extent. You know what I mean? Like, now, am I saying that the game should be like 100% realistic or whatever? Of course not. It's not. You can't consider game realistic anyway when the game has walls, you know, and stuff like that. Of course, it's still an arcade game. It should still have arcadey parts. The game still needs to play like football because it's a football game. So yeah, that's my opinion on it. Listen, there's so many things I could talk about, but honestly, bro, I think reading Discord kind of fried my brain a little bit. Like, the things I've seen, it's just crazy, bro. But yeah, anyway, that was my thoughts about everything. I probably forgot to say so many things, but honestly, that's all I got for now. I think it's going to be very hard to find a middle ground at the end of the day, because obviously, like I said, it's too divided, bro. A lot of people want two different things completely, which is going to be an issue. I feel like a middle ground, it's just going to be hard. It's just going to be hard. And yeah, we'll see where it takes us. I think in general, this patch is not even bad, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. For me, what I understand, they're trying to build up for the future, and then they're going to add more stuff, which, you know, I'm willing, bro. I've been playing the game for 8 months. I'm willing to wait another month or two to see what they try to cook up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not just gonna give up on the game because you know, they decide to, now that they want to start building a foundation for later. Like, I'm not just gonna give up on the game for that. I want to see what they cook up first, and you know, we'll see in a patch or two what happens. And yeah, that was it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.